A billionaire's daughter and a taxi driver? Their worlds were completely different. Their lives were far apart. But one unexpected meeting changed everything in a way no one could have imagined. When this wealthy girl fell in love with an ordinary driver, what happened next shocked the entire city. Sit back, relax, and find out as we delve into this emotional story. In the heart of Kano, there lived a young woman named Mariana. Her father, Mr. Elijah, was one of the richest men in Nigeria. People called him a business tycoon. His companies were everywhere. His name was in every newspaper. His face was on every business magazine. But in that mansion, with all the gold and marble and expensive paintings, Mariana felt like a prisoner. Every morning was the same. Wake up at 6. Breakfast at 7. Piano lessons at 9. French class at 11. Business etiquette at 2. Dinner at 7 sharp. Sleep by 10. Her father planned every hour, every minute, every second of her life. Mariana sat by her bedroom window one evening, staring at the city lights below. Her room was beautiful. Silk curtains, a king-size bed, a chandelier that sparkled like diamonds. But it felt empty. Mariana. Her father's voice came from the doorway. She turned slowly. Yes, father. Mr. Elijah walked in, his expensive shoes clicking on the marble floor. His suit was perfectly pressed. His watch was worth more than some people's houses. Tomorrow you will meet the son of my business partner, he said. His voice was firm, leaving no room for questions. His name is Jordan. He comes from a good family, wealthy, educated. You will like him. Mariana's heart sank. Father, no discussion, he said, raising his hand. You are 24 years old. It is time you understand your position. You are not just my daughter. You represent this family. Our name. Our legacy. He walked out without waiting for her response. Mariana closed her eyes. A tear rolled down her cheek. I just want to breathe, she whispered to herself. Just once, I want to choose something for myself. The next morning, Mariana woke up feeling heavy inside. She went through her routine like a robot. Shower, dress. But her mind was somewhere else. At the breakfast table, Mr. Elijah read his newspaper. He did not look up. Your mother would have been proud of the woman you have become, he said suddenly. Mariana looked at him. Her mother had died when she was 12. She barely remembered her face anymore. Just her soft voice, her warm hands, the way she used to hum while brushing Mariana's hair. Would she? Mariana asked quietly. Would she be proud that I have no voice? No choice? Mr. Elijah's eyes lifted from the newspaper. They were cold. Your mother understood duty. She understood family. You should too. The silence that followed was heavy. Later that afternoon, Mariana was being driven to meet Jordan at an expensive restaurant in Victoria Island. The driver, Peter, was an older man who had worked for the family for years. He was kind, but he never spoke unless spoken to. As they drove through the busy streets, Mariana stared out the window. She watched ordinary people living ordinary lives. A woman selling oranges by the roadside. A young man laughing with his friends. Children playing football in an open field. Do you think they are happy? She asked Peter softly. Peter glanced at her in the rearview mirror. Ma. Those people. Out there. Living their simple lives. Peter was quiet for a moment. Then he spoke gently. I think, Ma, that happiness is not about how much you have. It is about how free you feel. Mariana looked at him. His words stayed with her. They arrived at the restaurant. It was grand, with chandeliers and waiters in white gloves. Jordan was already seated. He stood when he saw her. He was tall, handsome, well-dressed. His smile was polite but empty. Mariana, he said, pulling out her chair. You look lovely. Thank you, she replied, sitting down. The conversation was stiff. He talked about his family's business. His travels to London and Paris. His plans to expand into real estate. He asked her nothing. He did not look at her like she was a person. He looked at her like she was a deal to be closed. Mariana nodded at the right moments. She smiled when she was supposed to, but inside, she felt nothing. After the meal, Jordan walked her to the car. "I will speak to your father soon," he said, his voice confident. "I think we would make a good match." Mariana forced a smile. "We will see." Peter opened the door for her. She got in quickly. As they drove away, Mariana let out a long breath. "Peter, can we just drive for a while? I do not want to go home yet." Peter hesitated. "Ma, your father, please," she said quietly. "Just for a little while." Peter nodded. "Yes, Ma." They drove through the streets of Kano. No destination. Just movement. Mariana watched the world pass by. For the first time that day, she felt like she could breathe. Then, suddenly, the car made a strange sound. It jerked. Then it stopped completely. Peter tried to start it again. Nothing. "Oh, no," he whispered. He stepped out and opened the hood. Smoke rose from the engine. Mariana got out of the car. "What happened?" "The engine, Ma. It has overheated." "I am sorry. I will call for help." They were on a quiet street. Not too far from the main road, but not close to home either. Peter made a call. "They say it will take at least an hour, Ma." Mariana sighed. She looked around. There was a small shop nearby. A taxi was parked beside it. "Maybe we can take a taxi home," she suggested. Peter looked uncomfortable. "Ma, I do not think your father—" "Peter, it is fine." "We cannot stand here for an hour." Peter nodded slowly. He walked over to the taxi driver, a young man leaning against the car, reading a newspaper. "Excuse me, are you available?" Peter asked. The young man looked up. His face was calm, his eyes bright. He smiled. "Yes, sir." "Where are you going?" Peter explained. The young man nodded and walked over to Mariana. "Good afternoon, Ma," he said politely. "My name is Isaac. I will take you home safely." Mariana looked at him. He was different from Jordan. His clothes were simple. His smile was real. He looked at her like she was just another person, not a prize. "Thank you," she said quietly. Peter opened the back door for her, but Mariana paused. "Peter, you stay with the car." "I will be fine." "Ma, I cannot let you." "Peter, please." "You need to wait for the mechanic." "I will be fine." Peter looked worried, but he nodded. Mariana got into the taxi. Isaac started the engine and they drove off. For a few minutes there was silence. Isaac glanced at her in the mirror. "You look troubled," he said gently. Mariana blinked. "Excuse me." "Forgive me if I am speaking out of turn," Isaac said. "But you have the face of someone carrying a heavy load." Mariana did not know what to say. Strangers did not talk to her like this. People either feared her father or wanted something from her. "I am fine," she said quietly. Isaac nodded. "If you say so." They drove for a while longer. Then Isaac spoke again. "You know, I once met a woman who lived in a golden cage. She had everything. Money, beauty, comfort. But she told me she would give it all away just to feel the rain on her face without someone telling her to come inside." Mariana's throat tightened. She looked at him. "Who was she?" Isaac smiled sadly. "My sister. She married a rich man. He controlled everything. What she wore, where she went, who she talked to. She died 3 years ago. Heart attack. But I think her heart just got tired of not being free." Tears filled Mariana's eyes. She looked away quickly, wiping them. Isaac did not say anything more. He just drove. When they arrived at the mansion, Mariana hesitated before getting out. "Thank you," she said softly. "For the ride. And for your words." Isaac turned and looked at her. His eyes were kind. Sometimes, Ma, the bravest thing you can do is choose yourself. Even if the world does not understand. Mariana nodded slowly. She got out of the car, paid him, and watched as he drove away. That night, she lay in bed, staring at the ceiling. Isaac's words played in her mind over and over again. Choose yourself. Could she? Was it even possible? The next morning, Mr. Elijah called Mariana into his study. His face was serious. Jordan spoke to me last night, he said. He is very interested. I have agreed to move forward with the engagement. Mariana's heart dropped. Father, I do not want to marry him. Mr. Elijah looked at her like she had just spoken a foreign language. What do you mean you do not want to marry him? He is perfect, educated, wealthy, from a good family. But I do not love him, Mariana said, her voice shaking. Love? Mr. Elijah laughed bitterly. Love is a luxury, Mariana. Marriage is a partnership. A business arrangement. You will learn to respect him. That is enough. No, Mariana said, standing up. It is not enough. I do not want to live like this anymore. I do not want to be told what to do every single day. I want to choose. I want to feel. I want to live. Mr. Elijah's face turned red. You are acting like a foolish child. You have no idea how the world works. Everything you have, everything you are, is because of me. Because of this family. Then maybe I do not want it, Mariana said quietly. The room went silent. Mr. Elijah stared at her. His jaw tightened. Go to your room. We will discuss this when you have come to your senses. Mariana did not argue. She turned and left. But something inside her had changed. Over the next few days, Mariana could not stop thinking about the taxi driver. About his words. About his kindness. About the way he saw her not as Mr. Elijah's daughter but just as a person. One afternoon she made a decision. She told Peter she needed to go out. He tried to ask where, but she simply said, just drive. They went back to the street where the car had broken down. Mariana got out and walked toward the small shop. The taxi was parked in the same spot. Isaac was sitting inside, reading again. Mariana knocked on the window gently. Isaac looked up. His eyes widened in surprise. He stepped out quickly. Ma, is everything all right? Do you need a ride? No, Mariana said softly. I wanted to talk. Isaac looked confused but nodded. Okay, would you like to sit? They sat on a bench nearby. Peter watched from a distance, looking nervous. I have been thinking about what you said, Mariana began. About your sister. About choosing yourself. Isaac listened quietly. I do not know how to do that, she continued. Her voice cracked. I have spent my whole life being told what to do. Who to be. How to act. I do not even know who I am anymore. Isaac was silent for a moment. Then he spoke gently. You know, when my sister died, I blamed myself. I thought I should have done more. Should have fought harder for her. But then I realized something. No one could have saved her. She had to save herself. And she did not know how. He looked at Mariana. But you are not her. You are still here. You still have time. It is not too late. Mariana wiped her eyes. I am scared. Fear is normal, Isaac said. But staying in a place that kills your spirit is worse than fear. They talked for over an hour. About life. About dreams. About freedom. For the first time in years, Mariana felt like someone truly saw her. When she finally stood to leave, she smiled. Thank you, Isaac. Can I come back? To talk again? Isaac smiled. Anytime, Ma. Anytime. From that day on, Mariana found reasons to visit that street. Sometimes she would say she needed to buy something. Sometimes she would say she wanted fresh air. Peter never questioned her, though his face always looked worried. Each time, she and Isaac would sit and talk. He told her about his life. About growing up poor. About working hard to support his family. About his dreams of owning his own transport company one day. And Mariana told him about her life. About the loneliness. About feeling trapped. About wanting more than just money and status. Weeks passed. Their friendship grew. And slowly, something else grew too. Mariana did not realize it at first. But her heart would beat faster when she saw him. She would smile more when they talked. She would think about him at night before she slept. One evening, as they sat together, Isaac looked at her seriously. "Mariana," he said softly. "I need to tell you something." Her heart raced. "What is it?" Isaac hesitated. Then he spoke. I think I care about you. More than I should. More than is wise." Mariana's breath caught. "I know this is wrong," Isaac continued. "I know we are from different worlds. I know your father would never accept someone like me. But I cannot pretend anymore. When I see you, I see someone beautiful. Not because of your money or your name, but because of who you are inside." Tears filled Mariana's eyes. "Isaac, you do not have to say anything," Isaac said quickly. "I just needed you to know. I needed to be honest." Mariana reached out and took his hand. "I feel the same way," she whispered. "I have tried to fight it. I have tried to tell myself it is impossible. But I cannot stop how I feel." Isaac looked at her. His eyes were full of emotion. "Then what do we do?" he asked quietly. Mariana did not have an answer. They started meeting in secret. Early mornings before the city woke up. Late evenings when the streets were quiet. They would drive to hidden spots, away from watching eyes. They talked about everything. They laughed together. They shared dreams and fears. Mariana felt alive for the first time in her life. But secrets do not stay hidden forever. One afternoon, a photographer from a local tabloid saw them together. He took pictures. Mariana and Isaac sitting close in his taxi. Mariana laughing. Isaac holding her hand. The next morning, the pictures were everywhere. The headline read, "Billionaire's daughter in secret romance with taxi driver." Mariana woke up to chaos. Her phone was ringing non-stop. Peter knocked on her door urgently. "Ma, your father wants to see you, now." Mariana's hands shook as she walked to his study. When she entered, Mr. Elijah was standing by the window. His back was to her. The newspaper was on his desk. "Father, He turned around. His face was cold. Colder than she had ever seen. "Is this true?" he asked, his voice low and dangerous. Mariana swallowed. "Yes." Mr. Elijah's jaw tightened. "Have you lost your mind?" "Father, please listen." "Listen?" he shouted. "Listen to what?" "That you have been sneaking around with a taxi driver? That you have embarrassed this family? That you have destroyed everything I have built?" "He is a good man," Mariana said, her voice shaking but firm. "A good man?" Mr. Elijah laughed bitterly. "He is nobody. He has nothing. He will drag you down into the dirt with him." "He treats me like a human being," Mariana said, tears streaming down her face. "He sees me. Not my money. Not my name. Me." Mr. Elijah stared at her. Then he spoke slowly. "This ends today, Father." I said, "This ends today." That evening, Mr. Elijah held a press conference. Reporters filled the room. Cameras flashed everywhere. Isaac was brought to the mansion. He stood in the middle of the room, looking confused and scared. Mr. Elijah stepped forward. "Ladies and gentlemen, there has been a misunderstanding. My daughter was never in a relationship with this man. He has been manipulating her. Using her for money. For status. For fame." Isaac's eyes widened. "That is not true." "You will be quiet," Mr. Elijah said coldly. He turned to the crowd. "This man is a con artist. He saw an opportunity and he took it. But it ends now. I am publicly denouncing any relationship between him and my daughter." He pulled out an envelope and threw it at Isaac's feet. "Here is money. Take it and leave. Never come near my daughter again." Isaac stared at the envelope. His face was full of pain. He looked at Mariana, who was standing in the corner, tears pouring down her face. "Mariana," he said softly. But Mr. Elijah stepped between them. "Leave, now." Isaac bent down slowly, picked up the envelope and walked out. The cameras flashed. The headlines the next day were brutal. Taxi driver exposed as gold digger. Billionaire's daughter deceived by con man. Mariana locked herself in her room for days. She did not eat. She did not sleep. She just cried. Peter would knock gently. "Ma, please eat something." But she would not answer. Mr. Elijah did not come to see her. He was busy doing damage control, making statements, meeting with business partners, restoring the family name. 3 weeks passed. Mariana felt like a ghost, empty, broken. Then one morning, Peter knocked urgently. "Ma, you need to come downstairs, now." Mariana dragged herself out of bed. She walked downstairs slowly. In the living room, there was a man she did not recognize. He was dressed in a suit, holding a briefcase. Mr. Elijah was sitting across from him, his face pale. "Mariana," Mr. Elijah said quietly. "Sit down." She sat. The man in the suit spoke. "My name is Mr. William Okonkwo. I am a private investigator. Your father hired me weeks ago to look into some irregularities in his business." Mariana looked confused. "What does this have to do with me?" The man glanced at Mr. Elijah, then continued. "There was a financial scandal brewing. Someone inside your father's company was embezzling money. Millions of naira. If it had gone public, your father's business would have collapsed. Your family name would have been destroyed." Mariana's heart raced. "What?" "The person responsible was someone very close to your father," the man said. "His business partner. Jordan's father." Mariana's eyes widened. The man continued. "But before we could expose him, someone else found out. And that someone gathered all the evidence, documented everything, and handed it over to the authorities. Anonymously." "Who?" Mariana whispered. The man pulled out a folder and handed it to Mr. Elijah. The evidence was delivered by a taxi driver named Isaac. The room went silent. Mariana's hands covered her mouth. Tears filled her eyes. Mr. Elijah stared at the folder. His face was unreadable. The investigator stood. "If not for him, sir, you would have lost everything. The scandal would have destroyed you. But he saved you. And he did it quietly, without asking for anything in return." The man left. Mariana looked at her father. "Did you know?" Mr. Elijah did not answer for a long time. Then he whispered, "I just found out this morning." "Where is he?" Mariana asked, her voice breaking. "Where is Isaac?" Mr. Elijah closed his eyes. "I do not know." Mariana stood up quickly. "I have to find him." "Mariana, no," she said firmly. "You were wrong. You humiliated him. You called him a con artist. You destroyed him in front of the whole city. But he saved you. He saved us. And I have to find him." Mr. Elijah looked at his daughter. For the first time, he saw someone he did not recognize. Someone strong. Someone brave. "Go," he said quietly. Mariana ran out of the house. William followed her. "Where are we going, Ma?" "To find Isaac," she said. They drove to the street where she first met him. The taxi was not there. They asked around. No one had seen him. They searched for hours. They went to taxi stations. They asked other drivers. They searched everywhere. Finally, an old man sitting by the roadside spoke up. "I know the boy you are looking for. Isaac. He left Kano 3 days ago. Said he was going back to his village." Mariana's heart sank. "Where? Which village?" "Somewhere in Enugu state," the man said. "But I do not know exactly where." Mariana looked at William. "We have to go." William nodded. "Yes, Ma." They drove for hours, through towns and villages, asking people, showing Isaac's picture. Some remembered him. Some did not. Finally, in a small village, a woman pointed to a house. That is where his family lives. Mariana's heart pounded as she walked toward the house. She knocked gently. A woman opened the door. She looked tired but kind. "Yes?" the woman asked. "I am looking for Isaac," Mariana said softly. The woman's eyes widened. "You are the girl. The one from the news." Mariana nodded. "Please, I need to see him." The woman hesitated. Then she stepped aside. "He is in the back." Mariana walked through the house and out to the backyard. There, sitting under a tree, was Isaac. He was staring at the sky, lost in thought. "Isaac," Mariana called softly. He turned. When he saw her, his eyes filled with shock. He stood up quickly. "Mariana, what are you doing here?" She walked toward him, tears streaming down her face. "I came to find you." Isaac shook his head. "You should not have come." "Your father, my father was wrong," Mariana said. "About everything." She told him what she had learned. About the scandal. About how he saved her family. About how he did it without asking for anything. Isaac looked away. "I did not do it for recognition. I did it because it was the right thing to do." "I know," Mariana whispered. "And that is why I love you." Isaac's breath caught. He looked at her. "Mariana, I love you," she said again. "Not because of what you did, but because of who you are." Isaac stepped closer. He took her hands. "Are you sure?" Mariana nodded. "I have never been more sure of anything in my life." Isaac pulled her into his arms. They held each other tightly, tears falling, hearts beating together. When they returned to Kano, Mariana walked into the mansion with Isaac by her side. Mr. Elijah was in the living room. When he saw them, he stood up slowly. "Father," Mariana said, "this is Isaac, the man who saved our family. The man I love, and the man I am going to be with, whether you accept it or not." Mr. Elijah looked at Isaac for a long moment. Then he sighed deeply. "I was wrong," he said quietly. "I judged you without knowing you. I humiliated you without hearing your side. And you still saved me." Isaac nodded. "I did not do it for you, sir. I did it because it was right." Mr. Elijah stepped forward. He extended his hand. "Thank you." Isaac shook his hand. Mr. Elijah turned to Mariana. "I have spent so many years trying to control everything, trying to protect you. But in doing so, I trapped you. I am sorry." Mariana's eyes filled with tears. "Thank you, Father." The news spread quickly. The headlines changed. Taxi driver hero saves billionaire's business. Love wins. Mariana and Isaac's true story. Jordan's father was arrested. The scandal was exposed. But because of Isaac's evidence, Mr. Elijah's name was cleared. The weeks following their reunion were not easy. The city still talked. Some people supported them. Others criticized. Mariana would see the stares when she walked into shops. She would hear the whispers when she passed by. One afternoon, Mariana and Isaac were at a restaurant. They sat quietly, eating lunch. A woman at the next table leaned toward her friend and spoke loudly enough for everyone to hear. "Look at her. A billionaire's daughter dating a taxi driver. What a disgrace. She has lost her mind." Mariana's hands tightened around her fork. Isaac reached across the table and held her hand. "Ignore them," he said softly. But the woman continued. "Her father must be so ashamed. After everything he has done for her, she chooses to embarrass him like this." Mariana stood up. Isaac tried to stop her, but she walked over to the woman's table. "Excuse me," Mariana said calmly. The woman looked up, her eyes wide. "I could not help but hear what you said." The woman's face turned red. You were just judging me," Mariana said. "Without knowing me. Without knowing him. Without knowing our story." The restaurant went quiet. Everyone was watching. Mariana continued. This man you called just a taxi driver saved my father's entire business. While people in expensive suits were stealing from us, he was the one who exposed them. He asked for nothing in return. So before you judge, maybe you should know the truth. The woman looked down, embarrassed. Mariana walked back to Isaac. He smiled at her. You did not have to do that. Yes, I did, Mariana said. I will not let anyone disrespect you. Not anymore. At home, Mr. Elijah called Mariana into his study that evening. His face was serious again. Mariana's heart sank. Was he going to ask her to end things with Isaac? Sit, Mr. Elijah said. She sat slowly. Mr. Elijah opened a drawer and pulled out some papers. He placed them on the desk. What is this? Mariana asked. I have been thinking, Mr. Elijah said. About Isaac, about what he did for us. About how wrong I was. He pushed the papers toward her. These are ownership documents. For one of my transport companies. Mariana looked confused. Father, I do not understand. I want to give it to Isaac, Mr. Elijah said. He saved my business. The least I can do is help him start his own dream. Tears filled Mariana's eyes. Father, Mr. Elijah smiled. He is going to be my son-in-law. It is time I treat him like family. That evening, Mariana told Isaac the news. Isaac was in shock. He shook his head. I cannot accept that. It is too much. He wants to do this, Mariana said. Please, let him make things right. Isaac was quiet for a long time. Then he nodded slowly. Okay, but I will work hard. I will make the business grow. I will prove that I deserve it. Months later, Mariana and Isaac stood together in a small garden. Friends and family surrounded them. Mariana wore a simple white dress. Isaac wore a clean suit. Mr. Elijah stood beside them smiling. For the first time in years, he looked at peace. I now pronounce you husband and wife, the priest said. Isaac and Mariana kissed. The crowd cheered. As they walked down the aisle together, Mariana whispered, Thank you for teaching me to choose myself. Isaac smiled. Thank you for choosing me. Never look down on anyone. Never judge someone by their position. Because you never know who God will use to save you. Sometimes the person you ignore is the person you need the most. So tell me, what did you learn from this story? Share your thoughts in the comment section. I would love to read from you. Thank you so much for watching. God bless you.